Hello everyone. Today we are going to see another problem on shaft. So here is the problem. Shaft is supported by two bearings which are placed at 1 meter apart. A 600 mm diameter pulley is mounted at a distance of 300 mm to the right of left hand bearing, and this drives a pulley directly below it with the help of the belt having the maximum tension, it is 2.25 kN. Another pulley that is 400 mm diameter is placed 200 mm to the left of right hand bearing, and it is driven with the help of the electric motor and belt, which is placed horizontally to the right. The angle of contact between these two pulleys is 180 degree, and the mu, that is coefficient of friction between belt and the pulley, is 0.24. Here determine the suitable diameter for the solid shaft. Allowing working stress, it is of 63 megapascal in tension and 42 megapascal, that is in shear, for the material of the shaft. Here assume that the torque on one pulley is equal to the torque on another pulley, right? So here is the problem. The two bearing, that is bearing A and bearing B, and here two pulleys C and D are there. So diameter of this pulley C is 600 mm and diameter of pulley D, that is the 400 mm. Pulley C is mounted from A at 300 mm distance, and pulley D is mounted from B from towards the left of this B, that is of the 200 mm. So this total shaft is of 1 meter length. And on pulley C, whatever the load it is acting, it is in the downward direction, and on pulley D, the load it is acting in the horizontal direction. So this is the given problem. Now we will write down the given data. Just now we had said that AB, this total A to B distance is of the 1 meter, that is 1000 mm. Diameter of pulley C, that is the 600 mm. So the radius of the pulley C, it becomes 300 mm. Then A to C, that it is the 0.3 meter, that is the 300 mm. Then the radius, it becomes the 200 mm of this the pulley. Now they have given tension at 1, that is at T1, it is given 2.25 kilonewton, and we convert it into the Newton, that is 2250 Newton. Then diameter of the pulley D, it is the 400 mm, so the radius of the pulley D, it becomes the 200 mm. Then this B to D distance, that is the 200, and the angle of contact, it is given 180 degree, and the coefficient of friction, it is 0.24. Now they have given the sigma B, that is the tensile stress allowable 63 megapascal, and the shear stress allowable, it is 42 megapascal. Now see here, as the load, one is acting in the downward direction, one it is in the horizontal direction. So here we have to find out the resultant load of these two. That is our main target. So we will try to solve one by one. Let T1 is the tension on the tight side of the pulley, and T2 is the tension on the slack side of the pulley, and we know that the ratio T1 upon T2 is equal to E raised to mu theta. T1 is tension on tight side, T2 is tension on slack side, mu is the coefficient of friction, and theta is angle of contact. Now we will put this value as the coefficient of friction is 0.25 and the angle of contact, it is 180 degree, and we get the ratio, the tension on tight side and the slack side, it is 2.127, and again here they have given tension on the tight side, it is 2250, that we will put here. Therefore we will get the T2 tension on slack side, it is 1058. Now as we calculated this T1 and the T2, these two are acting in downward direction. So if you want to calculate the total vertical load acting at this point C, that is in downward direction, means we have to add T1 and T2 which are acting in downward direction. So total load acting in downward direction at C is equal to T1 tension at tight side, tension at slack side. So we will get the total downward direction load on pulley C will get 3308 Newton. Then vertical load acting on this is C, there is no any vertical load, right? So only the downward direction load it is there, right? So that we calculated. And the vertical load on D only the horizontal loads are there, no any vertical loads are there. So therefore the load acting on the pulley D in the vertical or downward direction it is 0, that we have written. Now here you will get the diagram that if you see the side view, this is the bearing A and here it is the bearing C, and at point C the vertical load just now we calculated, right? Here due to this pulley C, on pulley C the load acting that we have shown, and at point D vertical load it is 0. So therefore this is the vertical post diagram, the load diagram we will get. Now similarly we will calculate what is the torque acting on the pulley C, right? So we know the equation, torque acting on the pulley is equal to T1 minus T2 into the radius. So T1 is the tension on tight side, T2 is the tension on slack side, and the radius of that pulley. From that we can calculate the torque. So we know the T1 and T2 and the radius of the pulley C, it is the 600 mm diameter, so therefore it is 300 mm. So in this way we calculate the torque acting on the pulley this C, it is 357.6 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm. Then similarly T3 and T4 are the tension on the tight side and the slack side, right? So since the torque acting on the pulley either on the pulley C and the pulley D, this torque acting on these both the pulley are the same. So therefore we will try to find out the torque, right? So the radius of the pulley D we know that, and again the torque just now we calculated, torque acting on C and D are the same, therefore we will take the same value and we will put the radius. So therefore we will get T3 minus T4 is equal to we get 1788, right? So that is the difference in the tension in the tight side and the slack side, it is 1788 we will get. Now this is the torque diagram that is in between C to D. Whatever the torque acting on C, it is the same. Just now we calculate 357.6 times 3 Newton meter. So this is the torque diagram. Now next, again we know that the T3 upon T4 is equal to T1 upon T2 is equal to e raised to mu theta, right? So again we will put T3 upon T4 is equal to something that e raised to mu theta, mu and theta we are knowing. Again we will get the relation between T3 and T4. So we will get T3 is equal to 2.127 into T4, right? So now I will try to put this value here in the above equation in terms of T4, so that I can find out only one unknown. So after putting this, I will get the value that T4, right? So 1588, and again I will put this value here in the above equation, I will get the T3. So therefore I got the value tension in tight side and the tension in slack side on the pulley C we get. Now based on this we can calculate, just now T3 and T4 we calculated, so that we can find out what is the horizontal load acting on this pulley D, it is there, right? So we will add these two values which are acting toward the right hand side. So therefore the total load acting in the horizontal direction, that is on pulley D, is equal to T3 plus T4, and we will add this. So we will get the total load, that is 4964 Newton, that is the load acting towards the right hand side. And now again when we compare the horizontal load at D, similarly the horizontal load at C we have to check, as there is no any horizontal load at C, the only downward direction load at C. So therefore the load at C in the horizontal direction it is 0. So similarly we will draw the force diagram, right? At A the vertical reaction, and at B the reaction, and at C horizontal force it is 0, and at D the horizontal force we calculated 4964. So in this way we try to calculate what is the load acting in the downward direction and what is the load acting in the horizontal direction. Now we will try to find out the maximum bending moment for the vertical and the horizontal loading. So as here are the two loading, the load it is acting in the vertical direction also and in the horizontal direction also. Here what we are trying to find out, the where is the maximum bending moment, and based on that we are going to design. Means we have to find out the maximum bending moment. So now first we will try to find out the vertical load diagram. So this is the vertical load diagram. Now we will try to calculate the reactions. RA plus RB is equal to this. These two are in upward direction and this is acting in the downward direction. So RAV plus RBV, reaction at point A in vertical direction, plus this one, reaction at point B in vertical direction, that should be equal to 3308. So again we will take moment about the point A, right? So if you take what it is, reaction at point B in vertical direction into this perpendicular distance, that is the 1 meter. So and again it is acting in the anti-clockwise direction, so therefore it is the minus RBB into 1000 plus this the downward direction load 3308 into this distance, that is the 300, and it is acting in clockwise direction, so therefore it is positive. Now if we calculate, then we will get the reaction at point B in vertical direction 992.4, and we will put here in the above equation, then we will get the reaction at point A in vertical direction 2315.6 Newton. So just do this. Right, so I get the reaction at point B, the reaction at point A, which we calculated. Now we will try to calculate the bending moment calculations, right? So bending moment at point A, it is 0, the force it is acting but no perpendicular distance, therefore it is 0. Then bending moment at point C, it is the left hand side only one force, this is RAV into this perpendicular distance, so that is 0.3, therefore we will get 694.7 Newton meter. The bending moment at point D is equal to, the two forces are there, if you consider at point D at left hand side, one which is acting in clockwise, another which is acting in anti-clockwise. So 2315.6 into this 0.8 meter distance, that is clockwise, and this one is the rotating anti-clockwise, so minus 3308 into this 0.5 distance. So if we put here the two force and distance, the moment, we will get 198.5 Newton meter. And the bending moment at point B, it will get 0. Right, so at the support reactions at the support point, the bending moment you will get the 0. So by looking this, we will try to draw the bending moment diagram. So bending moment at point A, it is 0, at point C here it is 94.7, and at point D it is 198.5, and at point B it is 0. Now this is the bending moment diagram. Now if you see here, in this, whatever the vertical the loading diagram we had seen, in that the 694.7 is the maximum bending moment. In the similar way, we will try to find out the horizontal load diagram and corresponding the bending moment diagram. Now we will consider the horizontal load diagram. So this is the horizontal load diagram. So first we will find out this reaction RAH and RBH, that is the reaction at point A in horizontal direction, reaction at point B in the horizontal direction. Now the two upward forces and one the downward, therefore RAH plus RBH is equal to 4964, and not possible to solve the two unknown with the one equation. So what we will do, we will take the moment about this point A. So what are the two forces? That is the 4964 into this perpendicular distance, that is the clockwise, and again RBH into this perpendicular distance, that is in the anti-clockwise direction. So minus RBH into 1000 plus 4964 into this 800. So from this we will get the reaction at point B in the horizontal direction 3971. So here, and I will put this value here in the above equation, then I will get the value of the RAH, that is reaction at A in horizontal direction, 993 Newton. So therefore we found out the reaction. Now we can calculate the bending moment, or we can draw the bending moment diagram based upon the bending moment calculation. So we will try to calculate the bending moment calculation. So we have to take the bending moment at point A, C, D and the B. So first, the bending moment at point A, that there is no any force towards the left hand side, so therefore it is a 0. And when I say the bending moment at point C here, the left hand side one force at a distance of the 300 mm. So 993 into 300, and that is rotating in the clockwise direction. So therefore we will get the bending moment at C. Now bending moment at D again, towards the left hand side only one force, that is 993 into the distance 0.8 meter, right? So therefore we will get only one force and the perpendicular distance. So 794.4 Newton meter the bending moment at point D will get, and at the last the bending moment at point B, it is the end point, its support, we will get the 0. So in this way we calculated what is the bending moment at all points. Now we will try to calculate the bending moment diagram. So here the bending moment at point A, it is 0, so here we calculated at point A, and at point C you get 297.9. so here by vertical distance appropriate scale 279.9, and the bending moment at D, it is 794. So at point D here, so somewhere here you will get the point 794, and bending moment at point B, it is the 0. So after joining this all these points, so you will get this bending moment diagram. So here I have taken the bending moment directly because already we studied how to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram in strength of material. So you might be aware about this. Now this is what again the horizontal bending moment diagram. So we have calculated the bending moment diagram in vertical force, and again we calculated the bending moment diagram in horizontal load diagram. So here in this horizontal, the maximum bending moment is 794.2. Now if you see here the vertical bending moment diagram and the horizontal bending moment diagram. So what is our ultimate aim is to find out the maximum bending moment diagram in case of the horizontal and the vertical. So the resultant bending moment diagram we have to calculate how it is. The one is the horizontal, one is the vertical. In that case, if you want to find out the bending moment diagram resultant at point C is equal to square root of this the bending moment diagram moment at point C in vertical direction square plus bending moment at point C in horizontal directions, right? So here this is the bending moment and this is the bending moment. So we will put these two values and we will get the resultant bending moment at the point C. Similarly, the resultant bending moment at point D, the same formula. At point D, that is 198.5, that is in the vertical load diagram bending moment, and at point D in horizontal bending moment as 794. So we will put these two values and we will get the bending moment at point D. So sorry, here it is the point D there. Okay, so based on these two, that is 756 at point C and 891.2 at point D. So this is the final resultant bending moment diagram, right? So now we can say that the maximum bending moment in case of the vertical and the horizontal loading will get the maximum bending moment at point D, and that is the value 819.2 Newton meter. So this value we have to take. Now the maximum bending moment is 819.2 Newton meter. We know that the equivalent twisting moment T equivalent is equal to bending moment square plus torque square, and we already calculated the maximum moment 819.2 and the torque 357.6. So we will get the equivalent torque for this loading, that is 894 Newton meter. And if you want to convert into Newton mm, so Newton mm meter to mm, that is into 10⁻³ we have to multiply. And we know that for the solid shaft the torque transmitted, that is T is equal to 5/16 tau dq. I will put this the equivalent torque here 894 into 10⁻³ 5/16. The shear stress allowed for this material they have given, it is 42, and the diameter, that is the unknown. So by taking cube root of this, the diameter D, you will get the 47.6. So this is the diameter of the shaft. Again, if we see in case of the equivalent bending moment also, just now we had seen by considering equivalent twisting moment, and if you want the equivalent bending moment also, then the equation, you know, the 1/2 mb plus square root of mb square plus tau square, and the equivalent 1/2 mb plus t, right? So by putting all this value, we will get the maximum the bending moment, right? And the equation of the maximum bending moment pi by 32 sigma b d cube. And in the similar way, if we put, then we will get the diameter, the 51.07. So first one we calculated based upon the equivalent twisting moment, and the second one we calculated based upon the equivalent the bending moment, right? So in this way we found out the diameter. So most of the cases we find out the bending moment, equivalent twisting, and based on that the diameter you will get that is equal to 47.5, and sometimes you may nearly equate this it as a 50 mm. So the final diameter for this loading is 350 mm. I hope you understood. Thank you. We will see next problem in next lecture.